In the previous lecture, we have seen the introductory part of the respiration and the circulation. Okay, and I know that you have seen already some of the animated videos regarding to the respiration and the circulation. Now it is very easy to you for the understanding this respiration and circulation topic. Okay, generally this topic is regarding to the human body also. Okay, so we can understand whatever the processes taking place in our body very easy. So generally for any type of processes or activity done by the animals, it is just because of they are having energy in their body. Okay, we every day we are eating for what purpose? To get some of the energy from that food, and that energy will help us to do more work. Okay, or many of the mechanisms or processes taking place in our body also, that processes completed because of the energy produced in our body. Okay, so whatever we are eating, in that, from that we get carbohydrate, protein and lipids. That means it is a complex food. We are eating variety of food, and it is having a mixture of the carbohydrate, protein and lipids. So it is a complex organic compounds. Okay, and from that complex organic compound we getting the ATPs. The energy source in our body is the ATPs. Okay, how many ATPs we are getting, that will decide how much energy you gain. So ATPs are important in our body. For the ATPs we are eating, okay, and we are drinking the water. So from the complex organic compound up to the product formation, that is ATP, whatever the processes are there, okay, that is conducted by the process of respiration. Remember that respiration is how much important. Okay, for getting ATP, respiration is important. Now you may have some questions in our mind. How the respiration helps to make an ATP? Okay, there is a relation between the ATP formation and the respiration, that we are going to see. Okay, we will eat. Okay, we are eating from that carbohydrate, protein and lipids, and first source of energy is nothing but the glucose. Okay, so from the food we getting glucose, we are getting, and only glucose can produce ATPs. Remember that only glucose can produce ATP. So proteins, lipids, they are using in various processes, and if there is a number of glucose is deficient, then that is converted into glucose, and glucose will make an ATPs. Okay, so respiration, okay, we will see by a reaction. You can see on your screen one reaction is there. Okay, C6H12O6 plus 6O2. After the reaction, we will get 38 ATPs, 6 water molecules and 6 CO2 molecules. Okay, this is the general reaction. In that, C6H12O6 is nothing but the glucose. 6O2 means 6 molecules of oxygen. And what we will get? We will get 6 carbon dioxide molecule, 6 water molecule and 38 ATPs. Now, this is the biochemical process. Okay, so the process from glucose, that is complex food, to the ATPs, that process will require the respiration. Okay, so definition of respiration: respiration, it is nothing but it is a biochemical process in which there is a oxidation of organic compounds takes place, and there is a liberation of chemical energy takes place in the form of ATP. That means it is a biochemical process. Okay, it is a chemical process, but takes place in the human body. That is, it is a biochemical process. In that process, what happens? Oxidation of organic compounds. Organic compounds, glucose, proteins, lipids. These are the organic compounds, and glucose we are taking here. So oxidation of glucose, that is a organic compound, takes place, which resulting into the liberation of chemical energy. Okay, liberation of chemical energy in the form of ATP. That means from complex organic matter we are getting ATPs, and for that, whatever the process is there, it is called as the respiration. So you can now understand that how the respiration is important. Okay, energy, it is dependent on the respiration. Another one thing I want to include in that, you can see the reaction. Okay, first there is a glucose that we are getting from the food. Okay, ATPs, these are product of this reaction. Okay, and water molecule we are drinking, and again through the urine it is going to be eliminated. But except to all that, there are two of the gases in this reaction are present. At one side there is oxygen, and at another side it is CO2. Now this is a reaction for to getting energy, and in that two gases are present. And similarly, these two gases are responsible for the respiration in animals. Okay, we know in case of us, we know that we are taking oxygen inside and we are releasing CO2 outside. Okay, and that two gases are present here in this reaction. So now you can understand that how these two gases are responsible for the respiration, and that respiration is important for the production of ATP also. So in this reaction we are taking oxygen inside, so at one side there is a 6O2. That oxygen will going to combine with the glucose. That glucose we are getting from our food. So that glucose and oxygen get combined, and there is oxidation of that glucose takes place. And when oxidation of glucose takes place, it will resulting into the 38 ATPs. Now there is a Krebs cycle for that ATP formation. So this is a different phenomena. But there is a formation of 38 ATPs. Along with that, 6 water molecules are also produced. Water is very much important in our body. And along with that, there is a formation of 6 CO2 molecules are also. That is nothing but the carbon dioxide, and it is very much dangerous to the human beings or animals. Okay, so now you can understand that why we are releasing CO2, because it is produced into the body during the process of energy production. So we are taking oxygen from outside for that energy, and when there is a ATP formation takes place, at that time there is a production of CO2 takes place in the body. So that CO2 is dangerous, so it is eliminated from our body through the respiration. Okay, now it is clear that respiration is important for the energy production also. And this biochemical, now this is about the respiration definition and its biochemical process. But the site at which the exchange of gases takes place, where the actually exchange of gases takes place, this site is called as the respiratory surface. Okay, and exchange of gases, it is very important at the and this energy or respiratory exchange, takes place between the organisms and the environment. In case of plant also and in case of animal also, the respiration or exchange of gases will take place between the organisms and the environment. In case of plants, it takes place between the plants and the environment, and in case of animal, takes place between the animals and the environment. So it is a relation, and where the place or the organ where the exchange of gases takes place, this is called as the respiratory surface. So this respiratory surface should be having large area for the exchange of gases. Okay, this would be moist surface. There would be moist surface in the respiratory surface, and it is having a thin layer, and it should be permeable for the exchange of gases and highly vascular. So these criteria are there for the respiratory. It should be moist, it should have the large area, it should have the vascular activity and permeable to the exchange of gases takes place. Okay, so generally respiration takes place or exchange of gases takes place in plants and animals also. First we will see in the plants. In the plants, exchange of gases takes place. Okay, for their different respiratory surfaces are there. So plants are having generally leaves, roots and stems. These are the surfaces for the respiration or exchange of gas. So plants require CO2 and they releases O2, and plants releases O2 that is useful for the animals. Okay, so CO2 they are taking and oxygen they are releasing. So what are the surfaces are there for their exchange of gases? So first is nothing but the stomata. Okay, stomatas are present on the leaf surface of the plant. Okay, leafy surface, and young stems also on that stomata are present. Stomata are small pores present on the leaf and the young stems that are permeable to the exchange of gases between the environment and the plant. Okay, so this is the one respiratory surface, and another one, it is nothing but the small pores present on the hard bark of the plants. So you can see many of the plants surrounding us, these are having hard bark on their stems, okay, or on their branches. So you can see in the picture that there is a bark is there, and on that spots are there. These are nothing but the pores. These are called as lenticels, and through that lenticels are also small pores spaces are there. Through that exchange of gases will take place. Similarly, in case of roots also there are some pores that will exchange the gases between the soil particles and the roots. Okay, so in case of plants, in such manner the exchange of gases will take place. Okay, now coming to the respiration in case of animals. Now animals, it is somewhat different than that of the plant. As compared to the plants, there are various type of respiratory surfaces and organs are there in case of animals. Because we know that we have seen in the 11th standard kingdom Animalia, in that we have seen various phylums or classes, and in that different animals there are different respiratory surfaces and organs are there. Varieties or surfaces are there, and these animals are also having different environmental conditions. So that's why there is a variety of the respiratory surface or respiratory organs in case of animals as compared to the plants. So in case of animals, there are lower animals are also, higher animals are also, their environments are different, and especially in case of higher animals, the respiratory system, it is attached, or it is regulated, or it is connected with the transport system. Okay, that is a specialty of the respiration in case of higher animals. So we are going to see the respiration in case of animals. Generally, you can see one chart on your screen. In that, 3 columns are there. In first, there is organisms are there. So many of the phylums are there, classes are there, different type of organisms are there. The second column is for habitat. Okay, there are organisms are different, and again in that their habitats are also different. So on that basis, their respiratory surface of organ is different. Okay, so that we are going to see. So in this respiratory charts, the habitats and organisms are different, and according to that, their respiratory surface or organs are different. In that, the first one is nothing but the some protist, sponges, and some coelenterate. Okay, these are aquatic. Habitat is aquatic up there, and the respiratory surface is nothing but the plasma membrane. That means through the plasma membrane they are exchange their gases. Okay, that takes place. Second is nothing but some flatworms, and some of the annelids are there, just like that of the earthworms, leeches are there, and some of the amphibians also, like that of the frog. So they are called as aquatic or semi-aquatic. Okay, so in that also the respiratory surface and or the respiratory organ is, one is nothing but the plasma membrane, and second one is nothing but the moist skin, their body surface. In case of amphibians, the moist skin is act as an organ for the respiration. So this is the second type of category. Then coming to the insects. Okay, they are now terrestrial, insects are terrestrial, and they are having special type of organs. We have seen in the 11th standard cockroach, it is an insect, and respiratory system of insects, it is a tracheal system. In that they are having spiracles for the respiration. So it is a different organs, it is a different system of respiration. So insects are having tracheal system. After that, some arachnids, okay, like that of the scorpions or spiders. Okay, they are hidden animals. They are remain steady in some of the grooves where there is a low gases present. So they are having special type of lungs called as book lungs. Okay, the conditions are different for them. So they are having book lungs for the respiration. After that arachnids, there is some arthropods like that of the limulus. Okay, that limulus is nothing but the aquatic, and they are having book gills. Okay, gills are present for the respiration. These are the respiratory surfaces for. After that, some of the tadpoles, okay, amphibian tadpoles and salamanders. Okay, these are now aquatic. Okay, tadpoles, amphibian tadpoles and salamanders, they are aquatic, and they are having external gills for the respiration. So we can call it as a respiratory surface or respiratory organ. External gills are present in tadpoles and in case of salamanders also. After that, fishes. Okay, fishes are purely aquatic. Okay, and they are having internal gills for the respiration. So it is a different type of organs or the respiratory surface. After that, turtles. these habitat of that, it is nothing but the underwater. These are the underwater animals, and they are having cloaca for the respiration. So this is some different respiratory organ. And finally, there are some birds, there are some reptiles and the mammals under which we are included. In the mammals we are included. So we are having terrestrial habitat, and the respiratory organ or respiratory surface in our body is nothing but the pair of lungs. Okay, so this is the chart which will show the variety of respiratory organs or the surfaces in the animals. Okay, so after that we are going to see the human respiratory system. Okay, very interesting part. We can understand very easily because we are having a respiratory system. We are going to see in the next lecture the human respiratory system.